All right, guys, welcome to Redirekt, the podcast where we redirect your attention away from your daily stressors, the things you can't control, and all your drama. We're here to provide you with some interesting perspectives, some laughs, and some redirection. Of course, I am Devon. I got my powers. I don't know about y'all. December 21st. They didn't manifest then. I'm a late bloomer, but all that matters is that they're here now. And my power level is over 9,000 because it's Black History Month. Yes, over 9,000. It's Black History Month and it's my birthday month. It's the best month of the year.
Aquarius over here.
Pisces. Team Pisces.
Oh, yes.
Anyways.
Yes, I was completely wrong. Might be.
You'll tell me it's not Pisces? Anyways. I am Devon. Newton, Seal, Hampton. Yes, I'm back with the names.
What about Fred? You forgot about Fred in your name.
I just used last name.
Fred.
Let me do me. Fred Hampton.
He trying not to look at the paper this time.
To the right of me is our new co-host.
Okay.
For the moment.
My name's Raven, the hostess with the mostest, period. There's nothing else.
Rider of alligators.
No.
Queen of Florida.
Yeah,
they stereotype me as a Floridian.
I know she heard that song, Interior Crocodile Alligator.
No.
I watched every movie.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never seen only Florida people. I've never heard it.
Okay, but he's not from Florida. He knew it.
Then we got Karan over here, a.k.a. Tell Massa Everything Walker. Go ahead, finish your
The only reason why Devon is doing the intro this time, because I've been demoted.
Why were you demoted?
Apparently, I'm not consistent enough. He won't let me do my thing, so I'm consistent in being Karan, but that's not good enough for Mr. Devon over here.
I'm just saying, our new person said we need
And most of his intro, I literally just said it 5 seconds before we started recording. He got all that from me, so don't think, no, he don't come up with these ideas. I do. I forgot one thing, guys. Karan, you use about what I say about. You really got a clicker. Give me that clicker.
So here's your clicker. You only get.
What is this?
What is this clicker for?
Raven said you gonna make a clicking noise and we gonna count. Raven, count the words.
This man can't afford a real clicker.
Click. Click. I sure can't, but look, we gonna make it work.
I'm weak. Y'all are funny.
So again, this is Redirekt. It's Black History Month, and because of that, this month just jumped up a whole bunch of cool points. And it's my birthday month, as I said. How are you guys doing today? Let's do our little check-in.
Okay, check-in. I'm tired, like last week, but I'm happy to be here and have a lot of schoolwork to do. Feeling good. I stayed up to 3 a.m. last night doing a lot of Black history research, so that was fun. Okay. You always, even though I kind of knew that stuff, like did you just really Amazon search a clicker?
Yes.
So just go ahead and buy it Prime so you can come in by tomorrow.
I don't want that. I just want to know how cheap he is.
What kind of interesting facts did you find?
I learned there's this lady, her name, there's this doctor, first of all, a woman doctor. Her name is Dr. Leroy or Leray or whatever. And she brought up the term of post-traumatic slave disorder.
Oh, Dr. DeGruy.
Yes, I couldn't say her name, but I know the last part of her name is like Leroy or whatever. But I watched the whole 1.5-hour video of her talking about the history of it. Yeah. And she was like doing like a webinar. And it was like, even though it was so nice hearing her talk because she kind of thought the way I did, but she was able to articulate better and had like facts and like research based off of it. And it was like really eye-opening. And she basically, my favorite part of what she said was that there's no intervention between like no mental health intervention between slavery and like the oppression that we have till and now, but people are so quick to like have empathy towards the Holocaust and 9/11, which are traumatic events. Yeah. But mind you, Black people have been through traumatic events for like 300 something years, or I don't know, it's a lot, generations. Let's just say that. So no, for real. So it was just really eye opening, and like I liked how she articulated it, and also, it was nice hearing someone like speak about stuff like that.
If y'all want to check that out, it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
she has a book too.
We'll put the link in the YouTube channel. Actually,
put the link.
Oh, y'all put more work on me.
Look, put it in the notes.
What's your check-in?
I've been doing good. My family came out this weekend. We went and got some brunch. Went roller skating. I didn't skate because I suck at it. What else did we do? Shoot, other than that, I've just been chilling, catching up on Netflix shows and practicing guitar. Okay. Actually trying to practice. Okay. Because I ain't gonna lie, I think it was the first time I probably disappointed my guitar teacher. It's like he's not really disappointed, but like you got to give me something next week, Karan.
He's not easily disappointed.
Oh, you disappointed him. I didn't hear what. Okay, yeah.
Disappointed.
Dang.
He's like you got to come with something next week, Karan.
It is not easy to disappoint that man. I've had him before too.
Really?
I tried to disappoint him many a times.
He would let you slide with a lot. So
There's been times I was a no call, no show. He's like, you all right, man? Just come next week. Don't worry about paying.
Not let him down next time. He's a great teacher.
I was about to say, you must be a great man.
He is.
Wow.
But other than that, I'm chilling, cooling, getting ready for next week because I start working 40-hour work weeks, which I'm not looking forward to.
I am.
I just threw up my mouth.
The only reason why I'm doing that, Raven, is because I need
the coins.
Nah, it's not even worth it's not even the coins I'm doing it for.
So sad.
I need the hours to get my license.
Oh yes. That's important. The supervision hours, right?
I'm trying to do it more. I'm trying to do it quicker than 4 years. So I'm trying to do it within like 2 years.
That is so sick.
Yeah.
Everybody works 60-hour weeks, boy.
Heck no.
Too late, you done said it.
Right.
Leaving it in there.
What about you, Devon?
Again, stress, but it's been a little bit better. So it's getting better.
How you stressing with your new powers?
Right, you're supposed to be on level 9,000.
When did February start?
Oh yeah, 9,000 levels.
It's still loading. It's still loading.
Just started, guys. But no, I took a mental health day this past week from work, and that helped some. But I've just been keeping on. I too am watching Netflix and working out and just trying to get balance.
Yeah.
So I've been feeling better though. I haven't been anxious and I feel strong. Yeah, strong.
Do you do like push-ups? Is that like your thing? Push-ups
I got a bike and I got like
Is it in here?
No, it's downstairs.
Oh.
I got some weights that I'll be lifting. It broke on me yesterday. But
you was going that.
I made it work. I need some.
They been drinking all them juices and whatnot.
Oh, weak.
You gotta do something.
No, that's good though. Compared to like how you were like maybe like a couple months ago, like how you were like struggling with balance. Like that's nice to see.
Yes. And I've lost some weight, so
we love that.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Physical health.
And it's Black History Month, as I said like 3 times already.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
I like this time of month.
I feel like this is the first time that I've actually fully embraced Black History Month. Don't cancel me. But that's just me being completely honest, Okay,
so. Explain that. What do you mean by that?
I mean, for me, a lot of 2020 was a lot of waking up for me. Like, I knew basic stuff. Like, I knew certain things that people say were wrong, and I would defend certain things. But, like, I was comfortable with not knowing a lot also. I was comfortable with not having certain conversations, and now I'm not comfortable. So I feel like Black History Month is actually, it was always important, but I'm embracing it more now than before because I was like comfortable with just not doing anything, saying anything, calling people out, stuff like that. So
I'm taking credit for that, everybody.
He doesn't play a little part, maybe like 6%, but other than that, it's based off of like things 60. That I've learned.
60%.
You're right. He does like.
He takes credit when he wants.
I
told you. Give credit where credit's due, right? Everybody.
I gave him 6%.
Right, and she gave you your 6.
60.
Took that 6 and ran with it.
Right. 60. That's over half. Anyways.
So we're kind of late to talk about this one topic. We pushed it back for a reason. We wanted to talk about it during Black History Month because of a topic that relates to the Black community. Mm-hmm. So DaniLeigh.
Okay, homegirl.
Devon's favorite artist.
It is not.
He didn't even know any of her songs prior to this.
I think one. But anyways, she had posted a video of her sitting in a chair. I think she was getting dressed or her hair was getting done. Whatever. And she's playing a snippet from like a song that she was going to put out called Yellowbone. This song went through the interwebs and the social media and people were lit.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the song, maybe why people were upset, like our perspectives on it, and what it meant for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So did y'all listen to it? Well, I know
you just played it for us.
Yeah, stop. But no, I think
yeah, like off camera.
I had to think.
He's like off camera. There's no such thing as off camera. But no, I think. I listened to it last night and we played it again today, and like first of all, the song's cringy in general. Yeah, and I think they can both agree with me on that. But just going over that, like half of me wanted to be like, okay, let me just let her flex her complexion and be happy for who she is. But then the other half of me was kind of like triggered in a way of like, here we go, like a light skin thinking that she's better, you know. So, and I use trigger for a reason because I'm pretty sure she meant it in a meaningless way, despite her people thinking that, she allegedly like was throwing shade towards the baby's baby mama. But I mean, it was triggering because, you know, that's like what women see on a daily basis, specifically dark-skinned women. And I know I'm considered light-skinned, but I still I have a lot of dark-skinned friends who tell me like how their struggle is about how men don't really, you know, favor them. Men are usually more likely to be attracted to light-skinned women, so it was triggering for me, at least, because it's something that we perpetually see all the time.
Yeah, I've heard that she possibly was talking about his baby mama. I don't know. I don't know what's in her heart or what her intentions were. I know the song was trash.
Number one.
Yeah, number one. First things first, that was trash. But if she was talking about, if she made it directed towards his baby mama, then of course that's wrong.
And she's dark skinned too, so
the baby mama.
Yeah, so that just makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah, this new information to me. Changed my whole perspective right now.
Yeah.
Really? What were you about to say before that?
Because I didn't hear it, I like read about it at first. I'm like, okay, she makes a song about, you know, light skinned women, I guess, so they can, I guess, flaunt a little bit, whatever, show off. At first I'm like, okay, you know, cool, no, be happy with who you are. Then now, like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know, because I know a lot of people, like I said, are going to be triggered, especially like, you know, people with darker skin tone or whatnot. So, well, why can't you make a song about just black females in general? Because, you know, light skin does fall under that spectrum of blackness. So
mulatto.
Yeah, so why do we need to separate this one from everybody else in a sense? So,
yeah. And yeah.
Wait. Devon smiled. His blackness.
You said something. Shut up, my blackness tingling. You said something.
He's getting stronger by the second.
Yeah, speed me those words.
There's an artist named Mulatto.
There is.
And nobody from I've never seen anybody get mad about her name.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people probably don't know the history behind it.
That's true too.
I mean, you can't get really mad at people.
Because historically, it's like somebody that's like what? They're not completely black. They have some white in them, and I think Native American ancestry, or is that Creole? I don't know. They all kind of.
I don't know the specifics.
It just means somebody that ain't completely black and somebody who is of lighter complexion.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
I mean, I forgot what I was about to say, but I mean,
his blackness just took over.
No, I mean, hey, I completely agree with what you're saying, and like. What I was gonna say is Beyonce's song like "Brown Skin Girl," like you know, people can have songs like that, you know, and Beyonce, that song was really you know, taken in by the black community a lot, and as it should, because there's not a lot of songs that flaunt darker skin complexions. But the reason why, you know, I'm kind of a little bit against like, well, she's allowed to flex her skin or whatever, which she is. Like light skinned people are beautiful, like you know, that's not even like a thing, like you know, a thought. But it's just like, you know, we know light skinned people are beautiful because they're always on music videos, they're always, you know, picked over, you know, they're always said that they're beautiful with their hair, their eye color, like that's not even a question. But there's a question when it comes to dark skinned women being beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like Brown Skin Girl, that song was important because, you know, there's not a lot of songs that encourage that mindset. Media does not encourage that idea. So
aren't all black women technically brown skinned girls? Yeah. So doesn't that kind of apply to all women?
Yes, and like even the light skinned girls can embrace that song. I feel like
you know they did.
Yeah.
I mean, as they should, because I feel like that was for all black women. She did apologize. Yeah. First she like kind of stood on her square and was like, I ain't do nothing wrong. And then she apologized.
Did she get like a half-assed apology though? And kind of like at the end of it, like, I'm gonna do what I want anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And then she talked about how she's Dominican and how she has African ancestry, European ancestry, and I think she said, I don't know, she said Native. Yeah, I know she said the other two.
Like, you know, and that we were talking about it before. Like, well, that's another video, really, or another podcast. But just like, you know, her being Dominican, they like to sit on the fence and like, I forgot how you said it. What'd you say?
I said that sometimes people will claim a certain group to reap the benefits of that group. So if it works in your benefit to claim blackness at a time where it's cool, then some people would do that.
Or to defend yourself in your apology.
Yeah.
Then.
And like she kind of did, like, I'm black too, you know, that kind of thing. But it's like, do you always claim blackness?
Yeah.
Or are you just using it now so you don't get in trouble?
Yeah.
Because that was another argument. People were like, well, she's using the term yellow bone. Is she even black? Yeah, so I don't know her ancestry. I haven't done the research, and nor will I. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I ain't getting no grade for this.
I feel like, right? I feel like light-skinned people in general should be able to be happy about their complexion, because one part of this conversation that often gets left out is, yes, of course, I'm a dark-skinned individual. Dark-skinned people and dark-skinned women in particular are triggered a lot by these kinds of songs and images and things of that nature. However, we never really look at how lighter-skinned people are also triggered in certain instances as well, because sometimes, there are instances that people probably can relate to where they're the only light-skinned person in this class, neighborhood, whatever, family sometimes, and they're picked on because of that, because, oh, you think you're better than me. It's like, no, I don't think I'm better than you.
Right.
I'm just me.
Yeah.
Now you think you're better than me.
Let's not even forget like how they have their own struggle of being white and black, or black and something else, like of like, what am I? That identity struggle maybe that some people have, and that's something that I can empathize towards. I mean, I don't have that problem more, but I'm saying like I can see how that can be an issue, and not knowing where you belong. Like the black people are mad. No, I won't say mad, but they might get triggered because you are light skinned, and the white people are like, well, you're too black for me. So like I know a lot of people, like Miguel, he talks about the singer. He's Hispanic and black, and he talks about him not relating to not relating, but like struggling with his identity with being Hispanic and black. So
because on the surface, people gonna say you're black.
I was gonna say, personal experience. My mom recently told me my little 9-year-old sister has been experienced this in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, she's light bright, and she's out there just trying to have fun with her friends and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course, when she's around like some of the darker skinned girls, they joke at her, make fun of her and things like that. Talk about her complexion and things like that. Yeah. And to her, she don't understand why they're doing this to her when she's just trying to be friends. But they're, like I said, the dark skinned girls are like, oh, you this, that, and the third, you can't be with us and whatnot. Yeah. And said, 9-year-old, she don't understand.
Nah.
Yeah. You said she's 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
something that's gonna stick with her. Yeah.
That's the sad part about the conversation. Sometimes we leave that part out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to take away from the pain that some darker skinned people have experienced, but there's pain on both sides. Yeah. And ultimately, that pain wasn't created by us. So that's one thing we're gonna jump into. I did want to make note of Zendaya. I said it right? Zendaya.
Oh, you had it written down too? Or you had
it's something that I thought about. Zendaya is somebody, she's of mixed ancestry. She's black and white. And I've seen her in interviews and stuff say things like she understands that Hollywood tends to give lighter skinned women more roles than dark skinned women, and she's even said like she goes out for roles that are meant for white women, so that darker skinned black women can get those roles that she would probably be given because she's a lighter skin. So I have a lot of respect for people that have an understanding,
who are able to point it out. And you can't be me a year ago, I get kind of upset, like, okay, here goes Zendaya. I wasn't really mad, but it's just like we can't really be mad at her or people like Amanda Sternberg, who in The Hate You Give, that movie, that in the book, the character was actually dark skinned. Oh, okay. But Amanda Sternberg, she's a lighter skinned woman, and Hollywood always does. They pick the light skinned person to be the representation of the black girl in the movie. I'm not gonna be mad at sis. Yeah. She's making the coins. I'm not gonna be mad at her, and I'm pretty sure she's aware of Hollywood as well. Yeah. Because she seems like really mindful about stuff like that too. But at the same time, like, we shouldn't be mad at the individuals who are taking those jobs because they got to eat. But we should be mad at like Hollywood, who's perpetuating this like thing. This. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So the larger topic of all of this is colorism. Like, this is why people were triggered at her song. This is why Karan's sister is going through what she's going through. And I only note that because you brought it up. Yeah. And it's something that deserves to be spoken about. I mean, I feel like Black History Month, we should look back in the past about the greatness that has happened. But also, I think, we should always do this, but for those who don't necessarily have the time or energy to do it year long, this month we should take the time to kind of identify the traumas in our relationships, and colorism has definitely created a lot of trauma in our communities. Yeah. So I went online and I got a definition for colorism. I probably could come up with one by myself, but I didn't want to, So colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. So this just isn't something that is in the black community. No. It's in Asian communities, it's in Hispanic communities, but since we're all part of the black community, we're going to keep it to the black community, because I can't talk about something that's in a different community.
I mean, even if we were to talk about it in a global sense, like, it really is just colonialism, but that's... Yes. Well, we can, like I said, we can just talk about, the black community. Yes.
I even got that, I put that on the docket. Colorism is the baby, it's one baby of the idea of white superiority. And I say the idea because, we used to say white supremacy. But that's just a myth. So I'm not even going to give it the power by saying white supremacy. I'm going to say the idea of white superiority. Because it's not real.
Told y'all, boy, Devon's strongest in his month right now. He'll there glowing.
After y'all done, my lift some weights and throw them through the roof for. But it's the colorism is the idea that the closer to white you are, the better you are. And like Raven said, it's linked to colonialism. Yeah. Because it was European powers that came to these places. They took over and they restructured how people thought, how they praised, how they lived, how they spoke, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
Another thing that comes from all of that, and unless y'all wanted to break and say something.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think you really hit it on the nail when it came to, like, it's simple. It's just colonialism. Like, when they came in,
You take credit for that. You said
what?
That.
Oh, I mean,
giving out credit?
I get credit all the time.
That's
me.
That's why I always take my credit.
That's new. But anyways, no, but like, yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I think even just basic history, colonization, but that they don't emphasize enough in history classes, but that, like, colonialism had a big impact on, like, how we think and how we see people and how we see black people, how you see darker skinned people, like, all of that. Yeah. Colonialism
and the enslavement of African people.
Yeah.
Huge impact.
I just had a conversation with some friends and I had to tell them, like, and they're my age, I had to...
How old are you right now?
I'm 23. Turning 24 this year.
Baby.
Stop.
Oh,
Supposedly I'm Gen Z, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Anyways.
Whole different breed.
I know, but I mean, I was just having a conversation with them and it was mind-boggling. Not like talking down on them or anything, but like it's mind-boggling how many people don't really think about that, like this, you can just sense like the self-loathe that they have for themselves based off of the way they like talk about it. Like, it was like, no, and I'm not making any sense, but like, it's
what
just,
was the topic?
We were talking about, she was saying that, basically, well, if they didn't come over to Africa, we wouldn't have been as great as, as that. Like, we wouldn't have been industrialized. I'm like, but what makes industrialization better than what we were doing in Africa? It's because of the fact that they brainwashed us to thinking that is being great when were we not great before they got here?
Yeah.
Whole nother story.
That's deep right there.
No, a whole nother story.
Right, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the small things that people don't catch that we were brainwashed about. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. 120%. I mean, that right there.
Because you have to think about it. Like, just because we weren't wearing a shirt and pants and a Bible in our hands, that we weren't humane,
And that's even when you don't include like the more civilized nations within Africa, because there were
I'm pretty sure
really advanced civilizations in Africa. They like to show us the ones of the hunter gatherers, the Maasai, the different ethnic groups that live where they're doing more farming and things of that nature, and those kind of communities and people, they exist on all continents,
right?
But we don't highlight there's people like that in Europe, but they don't highlight those people. They only show you the powers, the Britain, France, etc. Like
they are playing favorites.
Yeah, they show you their greatest and show our worst.
Yeah.
And when I hear stuff like that, I used to get upset and be like, people
you can't even
stupid.
be mad. You can't even be mad because it's so like, it's so deep that you literally have to like break away from everything that America's teaching you in order to get.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have the time for that.
I was like, basically break away from the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I was like, growing up, because basically I was on that fixed mindset. I didn't know because they didn't teach that stuff growing up in North Carolina. So I used to see the cartoons and whatnot. They had the African people being cannibals and whatnot. I was like, well, they eating people? Like,
right.
Trying to go over there. Yeah. But like I said, as you get older and you start to learn more stuff, like, this is wild.
Exactly.
And how small they try to make Africa seem and all that. So it is.
Africa is humongous. Number one. It's
huge. And you don't even realize how big it is until, they make it seem small. America seems bigger, but it's not as big as...
And that's done on purpose. They restructure the map to make things look differently. But that's not the case. Africa is a continent, not a country, a continent. There are 57 countries within Africa. Mm-hmm. The United States is one country. Think about it this way. The United States is one country. Africa has 57. Not all of them are the same size as the United States, but there are some huge countries in
57
Africa.
Bigger than one.
Right? So I think I looked at it and it was like the United States can go inside Africa 3 times maybe, or
I heard something like that.
Something like that, right? So that just gives you a scope of how big it is.
Yeah.
And how diverse.
Yeah. Even going off what Quran was saying, my best friend, she's always quick to say is we're all sheep here. We believe things that was taught to us, that was spoon fed to us, that makes us feel inferior, and essentially we have self-loathing in our hearts. We're not good enough to, we're not white, so we'll never be as good. You don't say that to yourself on a daily basis, but it's in our actions, it's in our subconscious, it's in our heart. So you really have to break through all that,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna say something. Wow, I don't think I've ever told Devon this. When I was younger and I used to watch Disney Channel all the time, I used to think the white kids had the best life because they was always having fun on Disney Channel.
That's not wild.
I'm like, damn, I'm over here living in projects.
Right, they had a nice house with the
Karan's like, where are my glow sticks so I can do the Mickey Mouse thing?
Right.
No. I ain't getting no glow sticks, man.
And that's why shows like That's So Raven and stuff are important. The Proud Family,
representation.
Yeah.
Important.
So, I'm glad you brought that point up.
Yeah.
Because it's important. I mean, it kind of could seem like we got on track, but I feel like you need that background to even kind of understand colorism better.
Because it's all interconnected,
Absolutely. One of the things I wanted to bring up is the Willie Lynch letter. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yes.
A little.
I stay up till 3 a.m.
She did a whole crash course.
No, because I knew about it before, but I actually wanted to sit down and actually read it.
Yeah.
And there's a PowerPoint that put it in layman terms.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could send it to you actually.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty. I could send it to you too, since you know a little bit about it. But it's not something that I would encourage everybody to read at 3 a.m. because it'll be hard to go to sleep because of how gruesome it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a radical way, he was kind of a genius because it's working still to this day.
Yeah.
And not no genius in he's amazing way, but he really got the psychology of breaking up a group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's real.
What do you mean if it's real?
Because there's some speculation that it's not real.
That the Lynch letters are not real?
That there was no man named Willie Lynch, and that actually a black man created it.
Wow.
It's not like he created it back then. The theory is that he created it, I think, in the 60s, and said that a white man did it. But I think it was an experiment. He said that this is how it goes. He said that this is how you would keep the black community divided. Mm-hmm. So even if it is real, if there was a man named Willie Lynch or there wasn't, the effects are still very much prevalent in our community.
Yeah. I mean, but isn't that in history that they actually did that though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did all those things.
Okay, so it wasn't an actual person that wrote down the letters and passed it along, but that's just what they did. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Yeah. So, because that was going to negate everything I just read last night.
No, but it's very much
but it's
real.
still true. And
It may not have been a specific individual who they sent people to. And it's possible that there were many Willie Lynches that people sent their enslaved people to be brainwashed, basically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, essentially it says that, and you probably, because you did the research, you can add on, but essentially it says that you will put the old slave versus the older slave versus the younger slave, the lighter skin versus the darker skin, the man versus the woman, and the children versus the parents, and it goes and it's just division cycle, right? You're putting everybody against each other so that they're too distracted to fight against you, slave master.
To keep them from running, to keep them from being stronger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what the Willie Lynch letter is about, and colorism is a part of that. If you heard me say, you keep the darker skin versus the light skin. One of the things that, and I know we poke fun at a lot of things as Black people because it makes dealing with trauma.
Coping mechanism for us,
But one of the things that is annoying is when I hear people say, "Well, at least I would have been in the house," and I'm just like,
I haven't heard that joke in a while, but yeah,
I'm just like, and excuse me if this is graphic, but I'm like, that does not mean that you were not experiencing trauma,
right? Yeah,
because one of the things that we don't talk about in class and history is how the slave master and the people that live in the house were also sexual predators.
What was that movie that Vintage P told us about on YouTube? I sat there and watched that joint. It was like Goodbye Uncle Tom or something like that.
No, it's the movie you talking about with the Goodbye Uncle Tom.
That movie was wild because it definitely showed how the house slaves was definitely doing all the sexual stuff. It was, and it was crazy because they had like I guess the nanny in there. And she pretty much structured those kids like, you but go in there now, go in with Master now, go in and please him.
She raised the kids.
Yeah, and
so you weren't necessarily in the field doing backbreaking work, but you could.
You
be
was experiencing
to
trauma,
yeah. So it's not. I mean, and that's just things people say when they don't have that understanding.
Yeah,
you got to pick your poison, I guess, at that point.
That movie was wild.
And it wasn't just women that were
watch
being
movies
abused.
like that.
So what?
It wasn't just women that was being abused.
Tell them.
So every time
a lot of things happen in that house, I'm pretty sure.
That's for a whole nother podcast.
I'm telling you.
That I'm not qualified to talk about.
No, for real.
College ain't reached that level.
I need to wait till next Black History Month so I can be on that level.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk about, since we kind of laid like the groundwork for what colorism is, and even went kind of before that, how does it affect our communities?
I mean, when I think about it, I think about in middle school. I don't know if y'all had the same experience, but when we were younger, the darkest skinned boy or the darkest skinned girl, they used to call them African booty scratchers, which that was a huge thing. Like I have a lot of dark skinned friends and cousins who literally they had to break out of their shell around the age of 20s, like in order to love themselves because of the trauma and bullying that they withstand through middle school and high school, like when they were younger. Yeah. So like we inhabit that trauma and we push it out on each other. Yeah. And we traumatize each other. We make fun of each other. Yes. And specifically, going to men, like a lot of men don't really understand the concepts of colorism and how they will love light-skinned girls and they're like, it's just a preference. And I think everyone has a preference. That's okay. Yes. But when you have to sit back, I think everyone should actually sit back and understand why is that their preference. Yes. Like, why do you like light-skinned women? Do you think, especially when you think they're prettier and your mom's dark skin, like that's a problem. Like, there's like a self-loathe thing that's going on to me. And so I talk to my friend about this all the time. Like, he likes light-skinned girls, and I don't have a problem with that, but it's just like, why do you? I want you to be able to appreciate all types of beauty in every color before you have a preference. Because if you can't say that dark skin who's sitting next to you in class is pretty, and she's actually like she's gorgeous, and
not say pretty for a dark skin.
Not say pretty for a dark skin girl or pretty for a so and so. Like, no, like I think it really does. From my experience, and I don't have any specific experience, but hearing men talk about it, like that I feel like it has an effect on everyone, like women's dating lives.
It goes back to what we've talked about on the podcast before about aversions versus preferences. And you want to explain, or you want?
Yeah, I need someone to explain that.
I forget all about that, but you go back and re-listen to the episodes. I know.
Okay, so a preference is like I'll use ice cream. A preference is saying I like
mint chocolate chip
ice cream. That is my preference. However, if you have Rocky Road in the house, I'll eat it. Yeah, I just prefer mint chocolate chip, but I'm open to other ice cream. Yeah, that's a preference. An aversion is I only eat mint chocolate chip.
Everything
all
else
the
is
other
trash.
stuff is trash. It ain't as good, and you're coming up with all these different reasons that justify your choice. That's an aversion. So, from what I heard you say, Raven, is you want people to kind of do some, what's it called, introspection,
soul searching, introspection,
and kind of identify: do I have an aversion or do I have a preference? Because there's nothing wrong with preference. I hear people say all the time, I prefer this, I prefer that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool if it's just a preference.
Yeah.
Now, it's not even like I need. It would be beneficial for you to identify is it just a preference or does it go into aversion? And how you understand it, if it's an aversion, is if when you're thinking about, in this case, we're talking about skin complexions. And I'll even flip it because I've heard people say, I prefer dark-skinned men.
Yeah.
Some people say that.
Yeah.
Some women say that. They say, I don't like light-skinned guys. Are you saying that because of some childhood trauma? Or are you saying that because of
hypersexualization?
I'm glad you said that. I was trying to think of a way to say it.
You was powering him up today.
I'm weak.
Yeah. But
I had to do some soul searching on that for me too. Like, I didn't even realize that because I prefer dark-skinned men too, and now I'm open to like a lot of other things now. But I was like, I had to do some soul searching. That's all I'll say. Like, is it because of this? Yeah. You know, because I'm not gonna just deny every guy, especially if they're for me and they're treating me right, just because they're not this.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that I haven't had to do soul searching either, because
it's necessary. I mean, I think we all should, especially in the Black community, because we all have been traumatized. Going back to the post-traumatic slave disorder, we all have some kind of trauma, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So that, I mean, that really, that's how our communities are affected.
Yeah, and let me just add one more thing. Like, that same person I was talking to, he was saying like, well, I'm attracted to dark-skinned women too. Like, I'm attracted to all black-skinned women, but light-skinned women are the only ones who feel confident to talk to me. And I'm like, well, it's like all the other ones don't want, the dark-skinned girls don't want to talk to me. I'm like, it's because of this is specifically what he said, that light-skinned women are more confident. And I was like, do you know why they're more confident? Because they have the power. I don't want to say power, but they have that confidence because the media is reinforcing it. Like, you're reinforcing it.
Yes. I was gonna say, what is he doing to make dark-skinned women not confident to talk to him?
I tell him this all the time, and I still respect his preference or whatever. Like, whatever, you gonna do you. But like, I want people just to start thinking like, there's a reason why dark-skinned women aren't as confident as maybe
And that's not even all.
That's not even all. Yeah. I'm really bad with absolutes, so I'm trying to not do that, but it's not all dark-skinned women. It's not all light-skinned women. It's not all men. So just want to clarify that, but definitely.
Some. And I think it's a large number. I don't think it's even some. I think it might be most.
Yeah.
It might be most. Unfortunately. You brought up another good point, and it gives a different perspective to the whole colorism thing. Because a lot of times we only talk about it from the perspective of women. Because I think, and this is something we're going to probably touch on a little bit, I think women are affected more than men are. However, you brought up hypersexualization. Do you want to share on that, Karan? Do you want to add some input on that?
No, go ahead.
Share first.
I mean, I just know that, a lot of white women get called out for liking black men. And specifically when they talk about black men, they're like, they're sexy and like, all these different, like, BBC. I don't mean to get graphic like that, but like, it's just like, okay, what else about a black man that that you like? So I know black men are usually like hypersexualized.
Yes.
I don't have anything else with that, but
the mandingo.
Yes.
The mandingo.
Yeah.
The dark skinned sexual brute. And I don't think that's just something that white women have been led to believe is something that I don't even want to say desirable, because I don't think sometimes people are like, this is something I want to build with, this is just something I want to experience,
or even just to create more mulattoes, more mixed kids, because they're prettier. That whole thing, when really their child can come out and not have that loose curly hair that you want, but they can have some 4C hair, which is beautiful too, but they don't want that. Because of the media's portrayal. And I think that's something that to be discussed as well. We haven't really identified, but it's beauty standards. The beauty standards in America says that white skin
trash.
straight hair is
Beauty standards is trash.
It's beautiful. Beauty standards are trash. Yeah, but it says that white skin, straight hair is beautiful, and the closer that you are to that, the more beautiful you are.
And you know what's sad? Like I'm still struggling with seeing 4C hair. I have 4C hair, and like truly, every day it's a struggle for me to like separate my hair from the beauty standards. Like it's because it's a lot of black girls have been through this like perm hair.
Yeah.
Come on now, no one knew their real hair until everyone started going natural in like high school, which was like 2015, 2014. Oof. I know it's a long time ago.
High school like for me was 2009.
Damn, I mean,
old.
She basically like we all in high school at the same time.
No, I mean, I'm just talking, for people who are my generation, like a lot of people started going natural. And mind you, I was 15, 16 years old and didn't know how my hair looked like.
Yeah.
You know how mind-boggling that is? Yeah. Like, to me, that's crazy. Yeah. And I just did a big chop of my friend's hair yesterday, and she was like, I wonder what my hair texture is. This girl is 23. Yeah. And don't know the texture. She only knows her texture in a way of how white people's hair, like straight.
Yeah, the beauty standards.
Yes, it's
if
crazy.
you look like this, you're more beautiful.
Yes.
Which puts a preference on lighter skinned people.
I'm going to share something that Raven don't know about me because, we just met not so long ago. Back in 2009, I had a fro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What you know about
I thought you were about to say you had a perm.
He probably did at one
point. I definitely considered it.
Wait, you had a fro?
Yeah.
What's wrong with having a fro?
Nothing was wrong. The maintenance.
Oh.
I used to get my hair flat ironed. So it was straight and easier to comb through. I wasn't thinking about beauty standards. I was thinking about the easier for me to maintain. Yeah. So I was considering getting a perm. Like, you know what? Cat Williams does it. I just look like him. Yeah. Everybody already say I look like Real from Real Chance of Love. So.
Wait, I need a picture. I for some reason my mind is not like.
Put it like this.
Visualizing this.
My nickname throughout high school was Ludacris.
Why?
You know when Ludacris just take his hair out and he said all that hair.
I look just like Ludacris.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
He's out there rapping in the streets or something.
No. I'm just like my mind is taking a long time to process what you're saying.
Your words are not formulated correctly, Quran. But yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I still need pictures.
I'll show you pictures.
No. Yeah. Later.
Yeah.
I had an afro. She was okay. What else?
Whoa! I'm still loading.
Yeah, but
anyways,
it's like you.
How was that for you? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say you felt like it maybe was easier to manage, and it probably was, right?
Yeah, that was one reason why I was gonna do it. Cause I didn't think of the beauty standards of it. Cause I guess 'cause I was a man. But definitely growing up in high school, cause way before 2015.
Yeah.
The straight hair was the way to go.
Yeah.
And it was hardly ever we saw many young black females with natural hair. I remember seeing that little can with a little black girl up there for the perm and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was everywhere.
Yeah.
And mind you, I think perming isn't wrong. Like, especially when you know your hair type. Like, I always encourage women to go natural just to investigate your hair and see how your hair look like. Then after that, if you want to perm your hair because you want this certain style, go for it. Like, we all have the free reign to do whatever we want. But I was worried that you were going to say that you permed your hair and then did the swoosh. Like the white boy Justin Bieber bowl look. I don't know why my mind just jumped to that.
What you doing out here?
I know I said that I thought Disney kids had the life, but that was like elementary school.
I don't know. My mind automatically went to extreme.
What do you think of me?
Bad.
This is only the second episode you've been on.
You're the one who hyped us like, Raven, I've been knowing you for this long. I gotta tell you something. So I just automatically went to the extreme.
See what they think of me here.
I'm weak. But I mean, that goes into good hair. Like, you want to go ahead and introduce that?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already talked about everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, good hair. The idea that if you have curly, loose hair, that's easy to manage. I think about Corbin Blue from that Disney movie where he had the jump ropes, and even High School Musical.
Yeah.
By
the way, my favorite movie.
That's your favorite movie
of all time.
I started watching Disney Channel when High School Musical came out. Cause I said this is trash.
Well, you were like 20 at that time, so you should have been
not
down at that time.
Are you 40 right
now? Lord have mercy.
No, but that was by far one of the best movies ever. Anyways, you can keep going. Yes, Corbin Blue.
Debatable. Anyways,
all right. So it was nice being here with y'all.
I feel like some people have the idea that just because you are, like you said earlier, of a lighter complexion, you're supposed to have curly hair and straighter hair and all that, but that ain't the case.
Yeah.
There's some dark skinned people with straighter hair, curlier hair. There's some lighter skinned people with 4C and tighter curls. The point is, there's no one way to be black.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I think we have to understand that being black is not a monolith, and there's so many different things you can do.
Yeah.
And if you want to have perm hair, have perm hair. If you want to have an afro, rock an afro. If you want to have cornrows like me, or locks like Raven, or a shortcut like Karan, you know, you do you.
I look terrible right now. Don't look at me.
I think you should understand, like Raven was saying earlier, the reason for your choices, though. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important part.
Yeah, and love yourself.
Yeah.
Karan, go ahead and do the redirect corner. That can be your thing.
Oh, who in the corner this week?
Huh?
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna read your thing. I'm like, who in the corner this week? This is your thing. Don't try to assign me a task now in front of everybody.
I'm the boss. Go ahead.
I don't even know how you start the redirect corner off. Give me a beat or something.
I thought I said you're supposed to find a beat, but go ahead.
No, give me a beat with your mouth. Beatbox.
No, I ain't gonna beatbox.
You trash.
I ain't gonna beatbox.
Get your beatbox for me.
No.
You out here being stereotypical. Look at him.
Right. How do you know that I got good rhythm? Is it because I'm black?
Karan, tell on Master Walker over here trying to tell us black people what to do.
You know what? We did go to PWI, so.
ODU is an MSI.
What is it?
A minority serving institution.
Oh, that's something new, y'all.
It is new.
Yeah,
Millennials, though.
you better put her in the corner.
I'm weak.
So, for this week in the Redirect Corner, Devon has here written down, and I'm going to quote it word for word.
Wow.
What tips and advice for people who continue to keep colorism alive in the black community?
Hold on. Before you continue, how many words you at? Raven, you been counting?
Oh, damn.
It's
We need to get that clicker. Amazon Prime. It'll come in tomorrow.
$8. Devon can't afford $8, y'all.
I know I can. That was gas getting here.
What did you say?
Oh, I got to read it again.
Nah.
Okay.
You said who was in the redirect corner?
Yeah, I just read it.
Okay, read it again. Raven got me on track.
What tips and advice for people who continue to keep colorism alive in the black community?
I
Okay.
think we should go to our strongest first.
Huh? Y'all want to do me first?
You the strongest?
Sure.
This is your month.
Ooh. Okay. Tips and advice for
Got like
people that
45
want
minutes
to
of the
keep
bond.
colorism alive. I feel like we kind of touched on this throughout the whole podcast. I mean, just as a recap.
I was recap it for the
for
folks.
those who don't want to watch the whole podcast.
You don't watch it, you can listen.
Understand history. I'm gonna keep it sweet and simple. Understand history. Read some books. Have some conversations with people.
Talk to Devon. Hit him up.
Talk to me. I'm
Talk
not,
to the
I'm not a professor.
Talk to the Instagram account.
Yes. Hit us up on social media, and one of us will respond.
In the description box below.
If you hit up the Facebook one, Devon will respond. Just so y'all know.
On Facebook between the hours of 5 and 9. After that,
Not 5.
Yeah, 5 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Oh, his window is short.
Yes, it is.
It's still not guaranteed.
But
he got the screen up and everything blocking.
I want to say research history and learn about yourself. I'm gonna keep it sweet and simple.
I think I said this last week too. Like, just definitely just introspection and just asking there's nothing wrong with asking yourself, like, why do I like this, or why do I act like this, or why do I think this? And with understanding history and doing reflection, like, you can go a long way. Like, that's how I got to where I am today.
Absolutely.
Like, in going into history, it is a lot of, I don't want to say it's a lot of work, but like having to deconstruct what we've been given is a lot of work. Not doing the history and the research. Because there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos, even podcasts like this, that will just expose you to little things that will spark your interest, and then you can start getting into, other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my take, to basically sum up what they said, if you a person that continues to keep colorism alive, you pretty much have a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
And we got to get rid of that fixed mindset. Basically, that means you're not trying to expand, not trying to grow, not trying to do anything to learn anything new. You got to have that growth mindset to learn more and understand more from things that they were saying earlier. So it's important to have that growth mindset.
Yes.
A lot of people have that fixed mindset. They stuck on what they know. That's their truth, and that's everybody's truth. That is wrong. Your truth is not everybody's truth. Get that growth mindset. Learn. Do yourself like. That's the best thing you can do in life.
No,
learn.
for real, yeah.
Learn.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yes.
It's okay to not have been right in the past and then do better in the future. It's okay to change.
Yeah,
I like that.
Can I say this last thing?
Mm-hmm.
Be understanding. Everybody is not trying to be disrespectful. Part of it is just ignorance because they don't know.
Yeah.
So instead of going out here and attacking everybody because they don't have the same mindset as you, you know, I'm not saying you have to save the world by educating everybody, but if they're actually looking for like an answer, be willing to provide an answer and
help guide
while
them.
being patient. Yeah, help guide them.
And I hear a lot of people say, "Well, do your research. It's all on Google." If that was the mindset everybody had, then there's no point of people writing books. There's no point of people doing podcasts. There's no point of people making YouTube videos. If all the history was online, like, be willing to share that information. Like, I know it's annoying and you might feel like people should know this, but like that's the purpose you have in that moment, and you need, I feel like,
well, that kind of triggered me when she said that. If they go back to my college days, everybody like, look for some scholarships, they all out there.
Yeah,
where are they? I couldn't find a single
I don't even
scholarship.
know where to start.
One time I tried, everything I found was for single black moms. I'm like, I need to change my gender or something because I can't get nothing.
And get a child.
Yes, I'm something.
Yeah.
Claim my dog.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So, with that being said, this is the first episode of Black History Month. We have some more episodes. One of them, all of them, I think, won't be exciting. Especially one in particular that's going to be kind of controversial.
We're going to one-up last year's.
But I like controversy. So,
we're going to one-up last year's Black History Month. We're going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah. So we forgot this. We've been forgetting our little things, but remember, everybody.
Devon been forgetting.
Appreciate every moment.
I don't have one yet.
And remember, Raven, self-care is the best care.
That's so cliche.
You know what? I'm calling a new one. Happiness is not a product you seek. Happiness is a product of the choices you make in life.
I need a one-up mine then, boy.
All right, y'all catch me next week on Sunday. I'm going to have one next week.
Raven saying is, if you want to catch an alligator, have some chicken. Redirekt out.
Oh, my God. Bye.